days.
on
Yeah,
one song.
so there's no the one. That's what I was wondering. I was making bare mistakes because I was losing credits because I was trying to tweak the songs, and I was just like, is there
See,
no other way of
that's
doing that?
yeah, that's right. The only way is that, mate, and experience.
Yeah, because sometimes like when you play with it, like you get like I put a prompt in R&B style song, blah blah blah, and then I get like some country voice come in. I'm just like, what the hell's going on?
Mm.
Anyway, good afternoon, good people. Good afternoon, good people. You're watching Brudsy Entertainment. I am joined with the DJ Nicky New in the house, the world's first, the world's first AI DJ. What's happening, bro? How you feeling?
I'm really well, thank you, Bread. Seeing yourself.
I'm fabulous now, bro. And I'm now. We done our first interview, and we was talking about AI music and everything. And I was just, it blew my mind. You told me about the app. I went over to the app, started playing the bit. I've made about 50 songs already. To be fair, I'm still making the mistakes and stuff. But over to you. I mean, you're the professional. I mean, I know you frowned upon a lot of what I was saying because I was like, Chat GPT, find a song, and then remake it with Chat GPT, bang it in there, and then produce a song.
The problem with ChatGPT, Breda, he's got no soul like you, man. He's got no soul, you know.
Mm.
So he doesn't ad lib, and he doesn't do enunciations, and he doesn't talk phonetically, and he does 4 by 4 by 4 by 4 by 4, which is it's not right, man. You know, if you really want to get soul out of the AI robots, you've got to have more of a human touch. You're better off writing the song yourself. I write all my songs. I've written maybe 500-600 songs now, and your songwriting improves over time because you can hear it. You can hear silly mistakes make all the time. But then when you're a novice, a lot of people go into Suno thinking, well, I'm Elvis, I'm Michael Jackson, right? And then, you know, their mates tell them they're great. Their mates tell them how good they are. And everyone goes through that journey of, oh, I'm a rock star. This is it. I found my new calling in life. And then people like me go, no, you wank. Oh, sorry,
Mm.
mate. I'm allowed to say that.
No, 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 you're fine. You're fine. You're fine. You're fine. You're
Yeah,
fine.
you're, you're
We're not on
garbage.
TikTok. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
I,
people like me
I, I
go, sorry, that's garbage. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like there's two sides to it. There are like the professionals like yourself, like people that just love the music and they're for the music, they love it, they feel it, they everything. But I feel like most normal people are just like thrilled just to play with something like this. Like,
That's
I
right.
feel
Yeah.
like they're just happy. Like people like me, like, just I like making small little bits, like, and it's for me, it's good enough for what I need. And like I told you, I made a song for Ibrahim Traore, and that's doing pretty well. I think it's got about 10,000 views at the minute, the short version
Wow.
of the song. So
Wow.
it's doing okay, and people love the song because of the lyrics in the song, which I can't take credit for. I done the prompts, but because of the lyrics in the song, like, and it's a real situation. It was a decent Afro beat as well. Maybe everyone will get
Nice.
treated to it as well.
Nice.
I'm quite happy with it, and like about 10,000 other people are quite happy with it. But whereas you'll listen to it and you'll be like adlifts, and I don't even know what adlifts are. Like, I don't have the music proper terminologies. But I suppose the best way to start with this really is, what can you do? How powerful is this Suno AI?
From a dancing point of view, which is me, it's very powerful because I can dance to whatever beats I like and I can make whatever beats I like and I can make music however fast or slow I like. We spoke briefly before the show about potentially human musicians being not very receptive to this, right?
Hmm.
But it is a hell of a powerful tool for any musician, in my opinion. Imagine this, Broadsea, right? Imagine me and you have got a band. Yeah. You're the lead singer, younger and better looking, right?
Hmm.
I'm the drummer, so I'm the guy in the background, but we have to meet up and do band practice. Yeah. So
Yeah.
one of us has to write a song, usually the
Yeah.
singer. Okay.
Yeah.
Then what the singer will do is obviously write that musically as well. And then da da
Yeah.
da 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 da, and they write the whole thing down. And then you'll pass it to your band members, the guitar, the bass guy, and all sorts, and everyone will get a copy of the music. And then what do we have to do next? We have to hire out a school hall at £25 an hour. Well, why have we got to do that? Well, we've got to practice our song now that you wrote the other night, right? And then we're going to do 4 or 5 different versions of that now in practice before we get our shit together and get that one song, which has cost us an absolute fortune in hall hire, time, electricity, da 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 da. Now,
Yeah.
if any musicians were to say to me, here is my lyrics, this is the style of song that we're looking for in our band, can you make us a 20 bangers in this style? My answer would be yes, I can, and I can do that in half a day. And they would
Yeah.
sound better than every single average musician in the country. You would never look towards an average musician ever again. You know, the guy that sings down the pub on a Friday night, you'd never look at them again because these robots are on a different level to those types of people. I'd say they're about this far away from humans, really, like the professional human singers. But that's one example, Bredsy. Imagine we've got a band, imagine that, and we've got a song
Yeah.
and we haven't made the song. You could have it like
Yeah.
that, have 20 of them
Yeah.
in half a day.
Yeah.
And then you
Because
go
the
into
way
that
I
band practice with excuse me, you go into
yeah.
that band practice with that song. Listen, here's the song we're going to do tonight. You send it to your drummer, me. You send it to the bass guy, the guitar guy, and everyone's like, "Mate, this song is this our song? This is banging." So I mean, in band practice now, you go in there to practice that banger, rather than should we mess around for 4 hours seeing if we can make a banger? You won't.
Yeah.
So I don't think musicians understand that. They think, oh, this is a robot. This is against me. No, I just want to make
Yeah.
them help. I want to help them make faster music if they want. We don't really want credit on the albums or nothing like that. But we'd happily, I would happily help a human being make music or give them ideas or anything like that.
No, because I imagine the process of making music from a musician. I know I spoke to one the other day and I played a song for them and they were just like, hell no. But that was probably just me playing around with it, not doing all the sort of fancy bits that probably you do when you're on it. But still, very very musicians, especially smaller ones, they do frown upon this AI business.
Yeah,
And
they're scared of it.
but
They're scared of it.
yeah, I think so because some of the stuff I done, like I had my family around, everyone was listening to it. They were like, everyone was loving some of the stuff that I was doing, and I was like, I found are you able when you find the right sort of voice and stuff like, are you able to save that and then use that for
You
like all
can.
the other songs?
You can save a persona and give it a name, and you can also save a prompt as well.
Okay,
So, say
okay,
if you get a really good prompt and it works really well for you, you can save that, and then next time you go to make a tune in a similar style, you get to use that prompt again, or you can use the persona again, or
yeah,
both.
yeah, yeah. And I was looking online or something like that, and apparently you're able to sort of mix your voice, clone your voice or something, and sort of save it. Any, I don't mind, thank you.
I don't know how well it works, but yeah, you can do that. You can
Yeah,
do that, yeah, but I'm not sure how well it works.
yeah. Um, yeah. But like, this is mental, mate. This AI thing is mental for me. Like, with the persona thing and with a monetized platform, like you could just bank. Like, for me, you're monetized as well, so you should be literally just making like short videos, 30-second bangers on relatable situations, like like we talking about, I speak about trending topics on the news and stuff like that. Like you could do like that sort of stuff. Like people will, one of them songs will catch on with the right persona. So like, how do you go about monetizing it as well? Like, what's the monetizing process like? To stopping the copywriting, sorry, the copywriting side of it.
The copywriting side of it is if you write your own lyrics like I thought, then you own the copyright to the song, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can get the song copyrighted, but I'm not sure if that includes the actual melody or not. But we're
Okay.
all of us who do it professionally, we're copyright protected, which is why I struggled to give you music the other day.
Mm.
When you were saying to me, "Oh, Nick, can I have some music?" With us lot, it's not a simple case of that. Like I work
Yeah.
with 7 or 8 musicians that are very talented in
Yeah.
Afrobeat, Amapiano, Trinidad, hip hop, R&B, and all that sort of stuff.
Mm.
And so the copyright is taken very seriously, and I'm not allowed to share their music or their links. I can only
Yeah.
play it as a DJ sort of thing. So
Yeah.
we've already got to that level. Like it's gone beyond us mucking about with the family. Like
Yeah.
it's gone
Yeah.
proper.
Yeah,
You know,
I can imagine as well. There'll be people that use this app very well, know how to tweak it, know how to do everything. They probably don't want people knowing about this. And I think this will kill the music industry. I was listening to a podcast, like subconsciously, like in my head, like I wasn't really listening to it, but I was hearing it, and they were talking about AI music, but I never really understood it. Now I've seen it. I am 1,000% sure now people are jumping on this app to help make their songs, like because like within the space of 2 seconds, you got a banging beat, like and I suppose I've got to get better at the prompting, like for instance, like if say like what my thing is, obviously you find a song that you really like and then see if you can remake that song. What would be the process of doing something like that? So like say like if let's say something like what's a banging song? Kings of Leon, Sex on Fire, sort of thing, something like that. If I wanted to make a beat kind of like that, how would that like? What would sort of like the prompt? What would you be going for on there?
I would simply ask my AI robot to write me a prompt within a small amount of characters that would get me a very similar result to Kings of Leon song that you've just named, and it would
Okay.
list all of the variables that would be required, obviously, to give it a decent prompt. I think
Yeah.
sometimes people think if I just put rock in there and then press the button, that's enough. It's not enough.
Yeah. Yeah. I've
It's,
wasted a lot of
I'd love
rappers
to
do
show
that.
you how I construct my songs. Like we've even got a little thing that we paste in the top of the lyrics that tells the robot the what kilohertz we want the music, how many bit the music should be, and that's in our lyrics before we
Wow.
started the lyrics. But in the lyrics section, I'll have
Wow.
to show it to you, right?
No, 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 100%. I'm gonna come down.
But
100%
yeah,
come down.
that's how you would go about doing it if you didn't know, or if you knew the music well, you would simply just put in the style of music yourself. But the more you know about music, and the more you can um,
Hmm.
communicate it,
Yeah.
and the more musical terms you know, the better for sure, because we
Yeah.
can adjust the pace, the tempo, the voice, the
Yeah.
breaks, the beat drops, percussion drops, all sorts.
Percussion drops. Wow. Yeah, I was just like the other day. I was like, should I do some musical research? And I thought, yeah, I'm gonna have to because I bloody love this stuff, mate. Honestly, this is like this AI music's like making songs for yourself. Like I had the family around the other day playing it. Everyone was in tears, bro, because I was doing like little digs at people, like taking the piss out of little people and stuff like that, roasting. And that's something that you're no stranger to. You've been getting a few roasts. You've been on the end of a few roasts yourself. What you were telling me earlier.
Well, not really roast, mate. I'd say more bullying, actually,
Okay. Okay.
because I do a show called Hot or Not. It's every Thursday night now. And what happens on that show is an AI music review show where people who believe they've got decent AI music come to me on a Thursday. We play their music live and I give them some feedback, right? It's all fine if you like their songs or if you think their songs are okay. Everything's fine, Bread Sea. We're all
Yeah.
friends. We're all holding hands. We're all
Yeah.
being polite to each other. The minute you say to these little divas, that was crap, get that out of my face,
Yeah.
right? And come back with some decent music,
Yeah.
then all the bullying starts and diss tracks using my image, being disrespectful, saying. And when I say diss tracks, I'm not talking about Tupac hit 'em up.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about proper diss tracks, right? I'm talking public school kids who don't know nothing about hip hop saying things like, "Excuse me, you're naughty. I don't like you. You said my song was horrible. Oh, piss off, you muppet." Do you know what I mean? So there's been a lot of that, really, mate. But I just think it's not a nice culture because if it was a person who was, let's say, a little bit younger than me, they
Yeah.
would have taken it very, very badly because their generation obviously find it difficult to cope with stuff like that. But when I say to you, I have had 50 to 60 diss tracks made about me from these public school idiots for not liking one song. I'm not exaggerating. It's disgusting.
Yeah. That's
In my
mad.
opinion, it's really bad.
That's
Yeah,
no, that's mad. The bullying side of things on social media, and I'll say this: the bullying side of it, it's obviously wrong, and there are people need to bear in mind when they're out there bullying people. You don't know what that person's got going on in their life, So you could say something to the wrong person, they go home and they kill themselves, Then
that's
you've got
right.
to live with that. Then you've got to live with
Yeah,
that, and that's a serious thing that happens mainly with younger people,
yeah,
but it still does affect people,
yeah,
especially if they're digging personal insults at someone.
yeah.
That it still hurts. No matter what we say, it still hurts.
Well,
And
imagine if you're one person. Sorry, Brett. So you're one person, and no one's saying anything, and
yep,
a load of people are just being disgusting and disrespectful, all because you said your song was crap, and it was crap. Like, trust me, it was crap. But
yep,
like, as you pointed out, what's scary is you think as a culture, if that's what that community is like, they will do people over who give them feedback on their song. So what they're trying to say to someone like me is, when I give you a song, all you are allowed to say is that I am Michael Jackson. Do you understand me? That's what they're trying to say to me at knife point or at gunpoint. That's pretty much what they're behaving like. It's pathetic.
yep,
It really is,
yep. Yeah, no, I
in
feel
my
like
opinion.
for the casual listeners And for the people out there that are like quite new to stuff and they jump on this, it'd be very easily to start making out and thinking that you're something special and you're like a rock star or something like that. Like, and the way I would see it is if they've come to if you put anything out there, like, if you put content out there, you put anything out there, you have to be willing to accept criticism, like, so these people come in on a show, like, they know what you do. Not everyone is gonna like your song. Ed Sheeran famously said, people talk about my famous songs, but they don't talk about the thousands of songs I wrote before that no one even knows. Like, so it's a process that you have to just go through to keep going until it gets better. And if you're coming on for criticism and someone gives it to you, just take it as like, and
Feedback. It's
yeah,
feedback. Yeah.
honest feedback, and don't take it personal, which is
Yeah.
hard to do, but hard to
I've,
do.
I've
Like,
never, I've never ever once been personal with someone about comments because I don't know these people. But
mm,
what I do know, having been a dance teacher for 25 years of my life and listened to a lot more music than most average people, because when I was dancing, I was listening to music from the moment I got up to the moment I went to bed every freaking day, almost. Obviously, there were days where I didn't do that. But then when you start choreographing to music, Bread C, you have a very, very different interpretation of it because you're listening to lyrics, because you might do a dance move on some lyrics, right, that are actually on the syllables of that lyrics. And then you have, within that, you're listening to other parts. And then you get to this situation where your ears are really good, because you can hear silly things. And that's what we was explaining the other day. But a lot of these novices, they can't hear those mistakes. They can't hear them.
mm,
They don't know when they've confused a person because they've written far too many lyrics in a verse. They don't even know. And they don't know that when you write 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 different words in one line of a verse, that a proper
yes,
singer like Ed
yeah,
Sheeran would say to you, do you really expect me to say these 10 words and sing this freaking song? You're joking.
mm, mm,
Impossible. That's
yeah,
why songwriting in English is very, very important in this
yeah,
process. People
yeah,
who
definitely,
show respect towards songwriting, a lot of these people who use Suno, they can be disrespectful towards people like Ed Sheeran. They think they
mm,
can walk in and be as good as people like Ed Sheeran.
yeah,
No, you have to learn songwriting. Like that Billie Eilish, she's a very good songwriter, and her brother Phineas. It's
mm.
not my style of music, but Phineas and Billie Eilish, mate, their songwriting ability is next level. But then you try and explain that to some of these Suno divas, they're too busy signing autographs, mate.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's
No, I
weird.
mean, it's, people are very simple. Unfortunately, people are very simple. Like, we spoke about it last time, that guy that went on X Factor. Have you ever had a feeling where you're lost by a phone and you can't find your keys? Like, you could make that on 2 seconds on Suno, and that
Yeah,
would pop everywhere, all over social media. Like, there's a song right now that's popping all over TikTok. Step to the left, step to the right, step to the left, step to the right. Something simple like that. Catchy
yeah,
beat, it
yeah,
kills it, like, and it's
yeah,
going viral at the minute. It's a
yeah.
viral song, viral beat. But I suppose the main thing is, yeah, it's just finding out how you lock that music down until you say, yeah, I own that sort of stuff.
What it is, people don't understand what you just said about what it is the general public like about a piece of music. They think that talking about personal circumstances equates to a decent piece of music. It does if you've got songwriting ability,
Yeah,
but it doesn't if you're using it as a counselling, because people aren't interested at all. They don't give a
yeah,
monkeys about your problems in your life or anything. But if you do an Elton John and you do a Candle in the Wind, which is about a very terrible situation, but because of your songwriting skills, you have the ability to communicate that in a special way and sing that to the people in a special way. That's a different story. You'll end up at number one. But it's songwriting skills. But
yeah,
you try and explain these things to people. You've ruined their lives. You've upset them. You've been horrible. You're nasty. You're aggressive. You're disgusting. You're this. You're that. No,
yeah,
your chorus is awful. Your verses are rubbish. You're over emotional. You've used too many words. No one's interested in this song. Nothing catchy about it. No chorus. No bridge. No, nothing. No, nothing.
What are the fundamentals for a good song? Would you say, like,
Well,
chorus?
what we're looking for on our show is bangers for the general public.
Yeah,
Okay. If it was up to me and I was going to be selfish, I would only have house music and dancehall, because those
yeah,
are my two favourite styles of music, right? But because I'm not a selfish person, I open it to all styles because I do actually love all styles. Bread C. I listen to country music, for example, a lot on a on a Sunday morning. A lot, like I've got a lot of country music, and I actually
yeah,
love the style, right? So what we're looking for is bangers for the general public. That's why it's a unique show that we do. Now, as we were saying the other day, you and I both understand why Grease Lightning is a banger. But if I was with you and we was on a night out and it came on, I'm not going to the dance floor. Okay? I'm going to stand there on the side looking a bit moody as Grease Lightning's come on, and I want some freaking Wine Your Waist music so I can go and dance with a girl them. And now you give me Grease Lightning. No way. But I know why it's a banger. I know what it is about that song that these 80%, as we said last time, love it. A lot of these people don't. They don't understand that. And I don't know whether it's because they've got no musical experience, or they don't love music, or they haven't done dancing, or they haven't explored music to the levels that other people have, or what.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I would just literally just say, most people, if they like when I was playing it for my family and stuff, they were listening to some of the songs, they were loving it. My mum whining away to the little beats and everything, they were loving it. So if it's not broke, don't fix it. And if like anything as well, not everyone has the same taste. Like, you're looking for something, he's looking for something. We can all agree on a song's good, but ultimately, if I come on your show and you tell me my song's not good and I've got a million hits on it, do you know what I mean? So you don't be disheartened by it. If it's like you say, put the passion into it. Don't think it's going to be a quick fix and stuff like that, and keep your head on the ground. But
what we're trying to get people to understand, we're looking for general bangers. We're not looking for personal stories of attrition that have been put into a song. We're looking for general bangers in all styles. For example, Gangsta's Paradise is a banger where the Coolio, the artist, is singing about some very contestable issues within that song. But as we said the other day, there's a grandma up the road who's humming it, doing her dust, dum, 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 humming that song, almost muttering Coolio's words because of how many times it's been played on the radio, because of the catchy hook, the catchy chorus, the melody, the bridge, and all these things that people can relate to, which is exactly the same as Grease freaking Lightning. That's why they end up number one in the charts.
I need to write that down for my prompts later. Catchy hook, catchy chorus, catchy melody.
It won't work. It won't work. It won't work because a robot, you have to give the robot the catchy hook and the catchy melody, and you have to put it in the right structure. Otherwise, he doesn't know what to do. Yeah. And that's when you start getting weird sounds. But if you haven't studied music, or you don't understand music properly, or at least can't hear music properly, you're stuffed. You've actually had it. And if some of these artists, I think they go in there making up their own rules, which is fine, but then you can't come to my show and play something where you've made up your own rules and go, how's this? Well, it's disaster, disgusting.
Yeah.
You've insulted people's ears.
I'm going to attempt to give you a song and try and play it up over there.
Let me say one thing before you play that. Can I say one more thing quickly?
Go for it.
Don't ask your mum. Don't ask your friends. Don't ask anyone who actually cares about you. Don't ask them nothing, because you see, when you ask your grandma and you say, and you lean over and you put one hand on the wall on the side of her head and you go, "Grandma, is my tune any good? Grandma, I'm asking you, is my tune any good? Yes or no?"
Yeah.
She's going to say, "Yes, it is." And you see your friends, if they haven't got balls like me, and they haven't got the balls to be a man and be honest with you, you're great. That's all they're ever going to say. You're great. Yeah, I'll turn my mic to play the song.
Okay. Bear me a second. Put your hands up if you can hear it, yeah?
Hey! Root and rank and nap and brand. I'm betting perfect African and so bright yellow. Ever multiple, much to them like you see.
Under the West African sun so bright, a young captain stood to fight the fight. With fire in his heart, a voice so plain. He rose for his people, broke the chain. No more will the thieves take what's mine. The gold, the earth, the blood-stained time. For the soil of Burkina will wear its crown. Try your race, revolution won't back around. But now there's a leader who sworn to his creed. The people will harvest what they sow and need. No more will the thieves take mine. The gold, the earth, the blood-stained time. For the soil of Burkina will wear its crown. Try your race, revolution won't back down. Let the rivers run free, let the voices be heard. Through the deserts and plains, every single word. Under the stars, he made a stand, a captain's call to free his land. Hey. America's greed and Europe's intent to strip Africa bare, every penny spent. But now a new dawn breaks in the sky. With Traore leading, they'll never comply. Hey. No more will the thieves take what's mine. The gold, the earth, the blood-stained time. For the soil of Burkina will wear its crown. Try your race, revolution won't back down.
That's it, my man. What did you think?
Yeah, it was quite nice, mate. Did you write the lyrics?
I prompted the lyrics.
Yeah, I thought so because it's very wordy. Like when he says he did this, there's words that you could have taken out there, and the song would have meant exactly the same if you'd have removed that word. There's a few examples of that, but these are the little things that I bring up, just little things like that, where you say to people, and do you know what? You wake up the next day, you've got 3 diss tracks about you because you've said that.
Wow, that's mad. That's mad. I would take it on the chin. I would just take it. But that's what I mean. For anyone that listens to that, like you guys, it's got thousands of views at the minute. People are loving it. I put pictures. I put pictures of Ibrahim as well as on it, so it's like a music video kind of thing.
It's a brilliant tribute to him. Yeah.
And people are asking me who's the artist, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, which is brilliant.
People asking me who's the artist, and I'm just like, rah. But I, with something that's trending, because he's literally, he is number one, literally everywhere, all over social media at the minute.
So it's been pushed out,
So and the lyrics and the obviously I could have ripped, but for me, I'm a layman's person. I've done it for fun and put it out there. I'm not. I will get better for sure. I'll keep working with you to try and get better with it. But for me, I was quite happy with that.
You should be, man. It's a great effort. It's a good try, man. Do you know what I mean? And you honestly, one day you will look at that song and you'll be embarrassed, right? About a year down the line, I reckon. However, I've done a song called "Eubank Crack the Egg," right? And it was a reggae tune, and it was about Eubank cracking that egg round Conor Ben's face. Yep. And that one done really well, because it was released at the right time. But that was it. But, what you're talking about there is, I think, an area where I think it can be used for that. Social media where you've got all these...
anything that happens,
it's not for me. It's not for me, right? Because I'm very stubborn when it comes to what I do. I only do things that I love. I can't do things that I don't love. I find it very difficult to do that. So I have to love it. However, I can see if someone was up for doing that and making a social media thing, I can see them doing it already. It's good. I think it's fun, but we want bangers. Like if I could play you some of Gallis's music and you heard it, you would have it in a London nightclub at 2:00 in the morning on a Saturday night. It's that good. It's that well made. Like I'm telling you, that's where we're at. We're not saying we're better or worse or anything like that. It's just that the group of us lot who we're working together, we're not really into that or that's messing around with it. We want bangers, and we're all the same. But everyone's got to find their own little group of how they want to use it and what they want to do and what their community does. Because there's many use cases for it, like you say.
Yeah, 1,000%. memes, they're called memes for a reason, boy.
That's
they,
right.
they hit the social media like that Eubanks egg thing. Like, you know, if you would have dropped that with a video with him clapping, if you'd have put a video on that at the
Yeah,
right time, that would have
yeah.
been all over social media. Like, you
I
know, 'cause
think so.
people are
Yeah,
doing it now. People are doing it now with like just like simply the best songs. They just making their own edit
yeah,
and just like, sort of telling the story in the video with like clips, and
yeah,
then putting simply the best over it and
yeah,
killing it like that. Like
yeah.
you're able to actually do a rap about him slapping the egg. Like actually what happened. Like people would have been like ripping that. That the one you sent me straight away. I was like, yeah, send me that tune, bro. I like that. He was like, what? I was like, send that to me, bro. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? But yeah, guys. AI versus human performers, DJs. Like, you know, for me personally, I love this AI stuff. Like, and I only learned about it the other day from my man over here, Mr. Nicky New. And he does his set. When did you do your set again, bro? When's the next set? Sorry.
I'm working tonight because we do Kent radio Tuesday nights. So we do a radio set tonight. Then I'm working Thursday night where we review the music hot or not. That's at 9 o'clock UK. That's where AI musicians submit tunes and then we give them a review, good or bad. But these days they're all pretty damn good because everyone knows the levels that we're looking for. And then Friday night we have a top 10 and a little DJ session and a mess around after party for the Kent radio.
Yeah. I'll be there, bro. I'll be there. I'll be in the chat, or if you want me down there, I'll come down there, bro.
I'd
Just let
love
me
it,
know,
mate.
bro.
We'll give you
Let me
big
know.
ups, man. We'll give you big ups for sure.
Let me know.
Yeah,
Guys,
yeah.
this is Nicky New. Make sure everyone goes follow him on all his socials.
Thank
Plenty more stuff from the main man over here, Mr. AI DJ, the first in the UK, pushing his stuff.
I think I'm first in the
Sign-
world, you know. I think it's first in the world. I'm serious.
Wow. That's mad.
I
How long
refuse
you
to
been
play.
doing it?
I've been doing it for since last August, September. I started, and I used to
Okay.
DJ with no one in the crowd,
Okay.
but just having a very good time because I can't reiterate to people enough. Like I have done dancing for 25 years of my life, teaching it to young people. I love music, people. I love it a lot. I love it. Brad, I don't know what else to say, mate. I really do love music. Like
I hear
it
that.
means a lot to me. Do you know what I mean?
I suppose the biggest challenge that you should probably do for yourself is you should probably put a set together, like a whole load of your songs, and then go to a nightclub and perform and see what people think.
I'd love to do that, man. I'd love to do that. But
I'll make that happen. I'll make that happen.
mate, I'd love to do that. But in that set, I would have there would be 6 artists that would be played, and it's all urban music. But we could rock a nightclub for sure. You know,
I'll get it.
I've got some tunes, Brud, where I reckon people would hear them in a nightclub and think that they knew the tune. They'd think that because that's how we make our tunes. We make them a bit catchy, nice hook and all that, nice chorus. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
All the
you
usuals.
have to drop me some of them prompt tips, boy. I need some of them prompt tips. But guys, make sure everyone goes and checks out Nicky New on YouTube, TikTok. He's looking for followers over there. Make sure you go follow over there. Peace and love, everybody over there. Peace and love.